Okay, number 2. So number 2, again, we choose the vertical asymptote from the bottom. So what makes this expression equal to 0? It would be the value x equals -3. Horizontal asymptote in graphing form would be the number in back, y equals -3. Just a coincidence, they're the same numbers. We have no slant asymptote. We'll learn rules about slant asymptotes when we get to the next few problems. In this form, we cannot tell what the real roots are, so you can put a line through it. So in graphing form, you can't tell the real roots by just looking at the equation quickly. But in number 1, you can tell the real roots quickly in that general form. So let's graph this. Let's take our highlighter and let's go to -3 and -3 for both, I guess. Okay, so we're going to choose one x value. It can be any x value you want, but it can't be x equals -3 because that is on the asymptote. So I generally think, what is the easiest number? 0. So I want to know, what does 0 correspond to? Okay, so I'm going to plug 0 in here. So let's grab our calculator. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute a 0 in for x. So it's 2 divided by 0 plus 3. So that's the first part. I'm going to press enter. And then I'm going to subtract the value 3. So that's the first part. I just substituted in 0 for x. Now subtract 3. So 0 corresponds with a y value of -2.3 repeating. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go to 0, and I'm going to go down to -2.3 repeating and make a dot. What is the significance? This tells you, remember the words we talked about, kitty corner or catty corner? This tells you if it's in this section, because there's 4 sections, then it's going to be in the opposite section, or the kitty corner section. Domain. There's no limit how far it goes to the left. Oh, and then it hits this vertical wall, and this vertical wall occurs at -3. It jumps over it and it starts again, and there's no limit how far it goes to the right. Range, there happens to be no like dead zone area here. So it's coming up from the bottom. It gets stopped at this horizontal asymptote. It jumps over and it starts again. So -infinity up to this line of -3, jumps over and starts, and -3 with no limit how high it goes. End behavior. As we go to the left, it's getting closer and closer to the y value, to a y value of -3. And as you go to the far right, it's getting closer and closer to a y value of -3.